Google is offering free AI training and tools to U.S. small businesses so they can innovate in ways both big and small. Built by Google experts, the Google AI Professional Certificate equips small businesses with practical AI skills. Through hands-on projects, they can start using AI to get more done and unlock new opportunities for their business. This is a new era of American innovation. Find out more at grow.google/business.
This summer, Prime Video takes you back before Legally Blonde, before law school, and into the world of Elle Woods in high school. Set in 1995, this Gemini vegetarian knows exactly who she is until her family moves from Bel Air to Seattle. Packed with iconic fashion, 90s nostalgia, and a throwback soundtrack, Elle proves one thing. Law school was hard. High school was harder. From the world of Legally Blonde, watch Elle, a new original series only on Prime Video. Watch now.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast instead of doom scrolling? Smart move. Another smart move? Getting help from one of State Farm's 19,000 local agents when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
I'm Josh from the Black Moods.
This is Meta from the Dead Deads, and you're listening to Jay Scott on the Hook Rocks.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It's Jay Scott. It's the Hook Rocks. Thanks for tuning in. We have been busy over the last month, and we're going to continue to be busy here coming into April. We've got some great stuff lined up, got some great conversations, and just want to thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us with our next conversation. Don't forget to check us out on all social media apps on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at the Hook Rocks. We're a part of the Pantheon Podcast Network, so check us out on that at pantheonpods.com or pantheonpodcast.com, and Pantheon Pods on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Write us a review if you're so inclined. Always love the feedback. Always love to hear what you think of the episodes. Don't forget to set your app to automatic download. We're approaching episode 500. It'll be here, probably the next couple months. And we're also approaching our 4-year anniversary. So got a lot of stuff going on. We've had some great episodes recently. We just did our Rockin' Pod celebration episode where one of the guests today was a part of. We also had Meta Dead from the Dead Deads and Josh Kennedy from the Black Moods recently on, talking about their March Madness tour, which I just experienced last night at the Forge in Joliet. It was a great time, great show. We had Dorothy Martin on. We've had Dax Nielsen and Rick Nielsen on from Cheap Trick. We did our live album review of Rush, Exit Stage Left. We had the Professor Skylab talking about vintage audio systems, and some great new music spotlights with South of Eden and also Chris Tapp from the Cold Stairs. And my next two guests have been releasing some awesome music over the last year. One of the guests' album was in my top 2 of 2022. And the other guest just released an album this quarter, which we're going to have our album rankings of the quarter coming out this Friday. And I don't want to give away where the album will be placed, but so you got to listen. But got Tuk Smith from Tuk Smith and the Restless Hearts and James Nichols. What's going on, guys? How are you?
What is going on? Here we are. We came to hang out, man.
This is awesome. Two of my favorite people, two of my favorite guests, two of my favorite musicians are on tour together, kicking some ass across the United States.
Before you got here, I was teaching Jared how to play guitar a little bit, and then he was showing me how to work out, pump some fucking iron.
So we were really doing a lot of heavy lifting today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jared being just a beginner on guitar himself, it was great for you to do that, Tuck.
Yeah, we only got like 10 minutes. We got to go get protein shakes, and we got to go to Guitar Center.
Yeah. Like my dad owned a gym growing up, and Jared was talking about going to the gym, and apparently to get real big, you got to eat your own cum. So I never did that kind of protein load.
I was trying to show him some of the, some of the secrets. Success secrets, I like to call them.
Yeah, Nichols success secrets.
Well, I did not expect that.
What a way to kick off the show, dudes.
I'm just trying to keep him on his toes.
Yeah. I mean, so the tour name is going to be Protein and Cum, Tuk Smith and James Nichols.
Bro, please edit this out. I'm just kidding. Oh.
That's the headline.
Well, you know what? You got to start out with a bang, so to speak, right?
I'm awake.
I'm not going to extrapolate because I'll dig myself in a hole on this joke, and I just want to move on.
Next question.
I mean, that's the first time where I've been like, I'm trying to mute myself from like laughing. But it's great to see you guys on tour together. You know, I just spoke about this with emerging bands, newer bands that have been coming up over the last decade, and the importance of bands joining forces. Because I think two things are really happening in the live music forum, if you will, the live music platform. One is Tuck and I talked about at Rockin' Pod. It's been really hard to find places to play gigs at. There's probably a variety of reasons for that. And also, I think for a while, there was this mentality of waiting for the legacy acts to pick up a young emerging act to bring them on the road. And that's few and far between these days because promoters now control everything. The cost of ticket prices are extremely high. So you've got to merge tour known entities instead of bringing out a lesser known act, which used to be the norm. So what do new bands like yourselves do? Well, do what you guys did, do what Deads and the Black Moods are doing. Go out and play. Go out and bring the music to the people and grow your audience that way. Is that how this kind of came about, or was the reasons behind it?
Yeah, I would say I think that teaming up with Tuck is a no-brainer. I feel like it's just one of those things where, like you were saying, where I think we both have expressed how you kind of sit around and you're waiting for a legacy act to come pick it up, or maybe you're thinking that it'll happen eventually. But the reality is both of us were kind of sick of sitting around, and we were trying to figure out what can we do, not only to get out and play, but to make it like more of an event. And I think teaming up like this, it's just going to be great, man. I think that anyone that's going to show up to these shows, whether they're a fan of Tux, they've never heard of me, vice versa, whatever, it's just a great night of music and rock and roll from two guys that actually give a shit and want to be there. And we really want to bring the music to the people.
I think it's more important than ever within the rock and roll community to build a community. And that means like-minded bands. Like, we have different styles, but a lot of our philosophies on music, the way we look at rock and roll, and all of it are very, very similar. And I think it's cool because building a community is how big scenes start. And also, when you look at some of these festival lineups, it's been the same bands that have been headlining for the past 30 years. And they're not going to be around too much longer, some of these bands. And so, like, when we were teaming up, I was like, fuck it, let's just go play the clubs. It'll feel more exciting. It'll be more of an event. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be slinging sweat on motherfuckers. And to me, there's nothing more rock and roll than that. If it's got to go back to the underground right now, like a movement, like grunge or punk or whatever, then so be it.
I think that's really important. I agree with you. I think the sense of community needs to be established in the emerging rock scene. And there's so many great young bands that are out there, such as yourselves, that are emerging that, are just trying to find a way to get music out. And social media has been a great tool. And obviously being able to interact with your fans is great, but there's something to be said about a live performance. There's something to be said about the sweat that, the performer has, and seeing all that and seeing that energy, not just with the performers on stage, but with the audience themselves. And I think the generation that is kind of lacking that experience is that younger generation, because maybe they're not used to seeing shows. I've been going to shows since I was like 10 years old, 12 years old. And you just get addicted because that energy is so alive and apparent in a show that you can't get from listening in your car on your earbuds. So when you experience that, it's game over for any other music genre. If you are a young kid seeing a rock and roll show, it's a done deal after that.
I totally agree. And creating that, like Tuck said, let's go in the clubs and let's make it a fucking spectacle. Let's go out there and just really slam it and just bring it for real. I think I speak for both of us, when I say that doesn't happen a lot anymore. And if we got to do it this way, and not that that's a bad thing, but let's just go and let's have fun, man. Let our hair down and kick ass.
With the excitement of both having new records out, Tuck, your album came out in the fall. Jared, your album came out in January. Now to finally kind of put this out on a tour and put some dates together behind you, what's the excitement in that aspect of finally getting your music that you've been writing and making over the last couple of years to be able to play it for people?
To be honest, man, I'm so excited to go out with somebody else who's really just trying to do it. And if you listen to his record, just to go out with another artist who's authentic and doing it for real. And there's no bullshit. There's no politics involved or anything. And that makes it very important to me. And it makes it more exciting than just if I was going out there alone or I got first to four on some package tour. So to me, not only getting to go out, but to kind of do it with somebody like him, it's fucking rad, man. It really is.
I think we're going to push each other a lot, man. I think that it's going to, after this tour, we're going to walk out of this honestly feeling like we gained something. Like a lot of tours I feel like I go on where, like Tuck said, like first to four or stuff like that. I feel like I'm just out there slugging it out, but we're going to do it together. And I think we're going to push each other to make the shows that much more exciting. And also to get the record out and to finally be playing it out, man, it feels like a weight's off my shoulders. It feels like I gave, it feels like I gave birth. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's crazy, right?
It's like, yes.
Yeah. I don't know if I am being off. You could maybe finish this, but it was harder to get this record out than it has. Like post pandemic, just to get the motherfucker out into the world was a victory. And I think I said this on your last podcast. Just to get it out, I celebrate it.
Oh yeah.
At the bare minimum, just for it to see the light of day. So yeah, I'm so happy about it, man.
I remember the moment like my record came out because we were pushing it back, originally pushing it back, we got to wait till you can get out and play. And I mean, it felt like forever. And then you're sitting there and you're like, is it ever going to come out?
Yeah.
Is this ever going to happen? Or have I just been kind of waiting here in vain and just trying to figure this out? But like Tuck said, just to have the record out and to finally be able to like breathe and be like, this is it. It feels great, man.
It feels like that year and a half or 2 years, the pandemic was like this slow motion life that people were living. Like people were doing stuff, but not really doing anything. And even when you think back of what happened during that time, there's no memory markers, right? Like usually during the year, you have a birthday party, you got a vacation, you got something going on where you can distinguish between one event, a time frame. And now when someone asks me a question and I go, was that 2020? Was that 2021? It's foggy. It's just, there's just no memory marker for me to kind of, the exact placement. And I imagine for being creative in doing music, and plus all the BS you guys go through as being more or less independent artists, to finally be able to see what you've been creating come to fruition, like you said, Tuck, it was a victory in itself.
I think and I've spoke about this before on the press run for my record, but really the only good thing that came out of COVID was I could just sit at the piano or the guitar every day and write and demo. And I think you wrote a lot during the pandemic.
Totally, man.
And it kind of gave us the opportunity to focus on the work. And a lot of times you don't get as much time to write.
Absolutely.
This was the wall.
Yeah, this was the first time. I think I even spoke about this when we talked, but it was the first time I was ever able to like stop and think about like writing songs. Like for me, records were made. The music I was putting out was almost a means to an end. It was like, okay, I got to put something out so I can keep on tour. With this, it was like, okay, I'm not going anywhere. Like how do I dig in deeper? How do I figure this out?
You guys spoke about the community. You spoke about the authenticity of bands that are emerging now, you know, and I've talked about this a lot on the show that there is a distinguished difference between the bands of yesteryear and the bands of today that are touring. There's an authentic grind that happens, and the artist is willing to do the grind that maybe because of the way the record industry, it's almost like a means to an end these days. You have to be authentic. You can't fake it anymore when you're out there because things are different. The landscape is different. How have you guys adapted to that? I mean, obviously when you're playing and you're starting to create and you're in your bedroom when you're a young kid and you're playing, you've got the posters on the wall of your rock heroes, your music heroes. And then as you come into this business, reality kind of sets in, and it's a different reality than what the previous generations are. But there's that light bulb that goes on that you're going to continue on because you love what you're doing. What was that moment for you guys when it was like, hey, you know what? This isn't what I wanted or expected, but it's what I want to do with my life. And I want to, no matter what happens, I want to keep doing it.
I don't know the exact moment, but he was talking to me about this before, and he's just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be part of the club or whatever it means, but I do know that I want to make records that I love that mean something to me. And if that's what it is, then so be it. And I'm kind of like that too, because rock and roll heritage acts, it's still very big, but for upcoming artists that are current trying to do it, the market isn't as big. There's no get rich quick schemes. There's no big budgets and there's no advances. To do this and to stick with it, you have to love it. It's a labor of love. And it does kind of weed out the lifers because you got to be fucking insane to keep doing this shit. You have to really love it. And so that's probably a positive. So to me, I think it just dawned on me 10 minutes ago when he told me that.
No, but honestly, dude, it's true. I mean, like you said, you got to be kind of fucking out of your head to continue on this road because like I think about a lot of things in life, and there's a set path. There's a path. If you want to get to this job, you get this and you can get a promotion and then, or you're going to go to school and you can get hired to do this. With music and especially with a young artist in this time, 2020, and not only 2020, but 2023, to even try and figure out, first off, how to compete with an online presence and how to stick out and how to make records and how to figure out how to get on a tour or to book a show. Like there's 1,000 roadblocks ahead of you, but it's almost like you just keep hustling and navigating and, I'll figure this out. Like juking the whole time. And I think at the end of the day, I always say as much as, I could complain or vent about like, this isn't lining up or this doesn't work or, I've hit this, my back's against the wall. I don't have any money to do this tour or whatever. I always laugh and I say, well, I don't have anything better to do. This is what I want to do with my life. I couldn't imagine saying, it was a fun run. It was cool when I got to jam with so-and-so, or it was cool to release guitars with Gibson and do this. But then I think about it and I'm like, is that really the end of the story? Or do I just need to like shut up and like, dig a little deeper? And I think like a lot of times too, like I can speak for Tuck and myself. I don't think you choose music. I think music chooses you because you just keep coming back to it.
I don't even know. Sometimes I'm just like a self-propelled motherfucker that wants to rock. And it's not, I want to play, I want to write, I want to listen, watch the documentaries. anything that has to do with rock and roll, it's like this self-propelling thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you stop to think about why you're doing it, yeah, you can go crazy.
You'll go nuts, man. You'll lay in bed at night. And I almost, it's like funny. It's like a pact I made to myself pretty recently was like, I can't carry, like you said, you stop and think about it. Then it's like you're carrying like this pressure and this weight. And all that I try and do is say every single day that I can wake up and play music, go play a show, talk to you, we can hang out, get creative and ultimately do what I love, which is music, being around it, playing it, like living that is a success to me. I think that if you don't have that kind of mentality and you think that you're just going to join a band and it's going to pop off, or, you're just going to cut in the line. It's like this shit doesn't work like that. And like you said, you weed out the lifers real quick. Who's in for the long haul and who's going to be gone next year? You'll never hear about this guy again, And there's no path anymore for a band. If you're not in the club or you don't have something bankrolled, you got to cut your own path, man. You got to do it your own way. And I think that's what we're doing, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And no one's going to stop us. So it doesn't matter. It's like the as far as we want to take it or we can physically take it, that's how far we can go.
Bro, he's getting me so pumped up right now. I'm like flexing on the hug right now.
We're getting out of here, dude. This is it, man. We got to go take a run.
It's like
start cracking eggs.
Bro, he's like,
drink this.
He's like
chasing chickens.
Gary V, dog.
Come on.
Get me pumped up.
Let's go.
If they're chasing chickens in your gray sweatpant.
I love it, dude. I love when he talks like that. It's super inspiring to kind of talk with you and talk, like just talking with somebody. We have so much in common. We've never really hung out. And it's just, we come from different parts of the country. We play rock and roll and we have so much in common, and we've gone through some of the same things and went through the same highs and lows. And it's just fucking crazy, man.
Also the fact that both of us can sit and talk without an ego or without some sort of agenda. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's almost like we were just sitting before we talked with you. We're just sitting at the table, man, just chopping it up. And I think that's one of the most satisfying things is to meet and to hang and to talk with someone that you can relate to. And you can be like, I know that pain, or I know that frustration.
Yeah.
Where you can tell someone that, like, in your family or a friend, and they're like, oh, that sucks, dude. It's like, no, you actually know what that feels like. You know the highs and the lows. So it's moving forward. I think after everything of being home, the pandemic, all of this, it's like, we just got to go for it. It's like, why not? What else are we going to do? There's no plan B. It's like, let's go play. And I think that's why this tour is going to be fucking awesome, is the fact that we can just go out there. We can be ourselves. It's like, our two bands, we're going to fucking go kill it and do it.
Bro, on like package tours, if you go 3 minutes over, you get chastised and in trouble and shit like that. Like, bro, I'm going to go 3 minutes over, and he's going to be like, awesome show.
It doesn't matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter.
But no. You know what I mean? It's just like a whole thing because, like, dude, the pandemic, I don't know about him, it humbled the fuck out of me. I went to ground zero. It was a spiritual experience. I've had everything taken away. So now I'm just so grateful to go out and play. And that's kind of like where he's at too. Like, fuck it.
It was a pretty powerful statement when you said, Jared, that, nothing can stop you guys. Right. And it's interesting because it used to be where you could be stopped. Right. If the business wanted nothing to do with you, no one was going to have anything to do with your music. And now rock and roll is kind of not part of the club with all the other genres. So you're kind of at a period in the genre where the music is yours. The music is the artist and it's the fans for the most part, right? I mean, there's few exceptions, which, they have their deals and whatnot, but for the most part, the scene that you guys are a part of, it's what you want. You have very little influence from outside forces, being an independent artist. You have very little influence of when you can release an album or what you can put out, what you can do. And there's got to be a sense of freedom with that, a sense of like, there's a lot of positives about getting a big record deal and a big tour, but with that becomes a kind of a deal with the devil. Whereas you don't have a deal with the devil. You're doing what you want to do.
me and him were talking about this before. We're both on record labels, and the cool thing about both of them is they don't fuck with us. They let us do the style of music that we want, and some people don't have that. To me, that's worth more than almost anything, is to be able to be a true artist. That's what I want to be.
100%, man. I feel like I was telling Tuck about, me making the record, and how, I was like, dude, we went in the studio, we set up, we tracked it to tape. These are a bunch of songs I'd written, this, that, and the other thing. And then I said, no one came in and told me to change that, or that's not good enough, or this needs to be more poppy. They just let me make a record. And going along with your point, I couldn't really stand, all three of us love music so much that if I went all this way just to be told by someone that I'm not like good enough, or this isn't hooky enough, or this isn't going to be on active rock, or, this needs to be way more of this, I think that's when you start to lose the battle. So the fact that we both have come this far, and we've eaten enough shit, and we've taken enough punches to say that we're still here, hanging, it's like that in itself too is a victory.
I deliberately put guitar solos in every song on my record. And what's crazy, that's like a fuck you to the music industry.
It really is.
It's crazy.
Well, again, there's no compromise, right? You guys are doing what you want. And, when you used to read the articles back in the day, we don't want to compromise, and we don't want to, compromise anything, but they were compromising behind the scenes because they had to. Mm-hmm. This is truly authentic. There is no compromise with what you want to do. If you want to put a guitar solo in every song on an album, no one's going to tell you no. If you want to do, a hardcore rock blues album that's not going to get picked up on mainstream radio, you can do that, And when you just see the landscape, like you guys talked about, a lot of these, I call them legacy artists, some people call them heritage artists, whatever. They're not going to be around in the next 10 years. They're going to be gone. And when you look at the vacuum that's going to be created with rock music, there's still going to be a lot of rock fans out there. What are they going to do? Where are they going to go? And guess what? They're going to finally, in my opinion, find these emerging bands. And guess what? Not have to pay $2,500 a ticket. That's the other great thing about a tour like this, is that you can go see two kick-ass artists in Tuck and Jared, and not freaking take a loan out, take a mortgage out to go see them. Some of these ticket prices are getting crazy. That's a whole other topic. But to go see you guys in a club is, again, part of that authenticity, part of that community that's being built brick by brick by all the bands that are coming out. Everybody's been bitching about ticket prices. I haven't paid for so long. I can't believe how much people are saying these ticket prices. Yeah, I feel the same way. As much as I love music, I would, some of these prices, even like I was talking to my mom the other day, and she's like, oh, I was going to go to this concert. The tickets were $700. And I'm like, I remember going, I sound like an old man. I remember going to like Lollapalooza or Ozfest and paying like $15 straight up. You're going to pay about $15 to get in our show. And that's in these economic hard times. That's a damn recession special, inflation special. Yeah. Inflation special. It totally is. I mean, when you think about the quality of music that's coming out with a lot of these artists, and especially you guys, and being able to go to a show in a club where you're not watching screens, you're not watching these big giant screens on stage. That was one of the most frustrating things for me. I saw a band like 4 or 5 years ago. I took my son, who I think was like 10, to a big, huge act at Soldier Field in Chicago. And I paid at the time like $250 a ticket. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching, and I'm grinding my teeth going, I paid $500 for these 2 tickets to watch big giant screens. I go, I could have watched this on YouTube or watched this. This is not what the concert experience should be like. And I don't go to big shows anymore. I mean, once in a while I'll go to a show that's at a big arena or big event, but mostly I love the clubs. I love the theaters, because there's an energy that is lost when you get into these big places. And that energy is pure rock and roll. Yeah. The kinetic energy. Like, you're going to hear the amp, his Black Star, hitting you in the face. Yeah. I think people too, moving forward, like you're talking about legacy acts,
inevitably going away. The reality is people still love that sonic and that sound of that music. All generations, it runs deep in, honestly, like everything. So I think going out there as an artist and playing what excites us and being real about it and being authentic and not being pretentious or fake, I think that really, like, people feel that. And I think moving forward, guys like Tuck, myself, that's what we need to be doing. And that's kind of, I feel like that's my mission statement now. I would rather go in a club, 300 people, 200 people, 100 people, 20 people, and play my ass off and make all of them feel what I feel inside and give them that energy and that thrill than sit around and twiddle my thumbs and say, man, I hope someone's going to take me on their tour. No, fuck that, dude. I'll go out there and I'll do it myself. And I think that with this package tour and rock and roll in general, there has to be a little bit more angst, and it has to be a little bit more of a rebellion to say, no, man, great music right here. Like, come to the show. Here it goes. You know what I mean?
He's 100% right. I feel like there needs to be more, not a disrespectful, rebellious attitude, but like a fuck you, we're taking it back, we're just going to do it again attitude. It's kind of missing in rock and roll. A lot of the attitudes now, because you don't want to piss anybody off in the industry, is a very like, hi, take me home to meet your parents. And it's like,
if we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, every morning it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from okay to very high. Know your sleep score with Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
This summer, serve up the Cookout Classics, Kraft Mayo and Dressing. Toss green salads with delicious ranch dressing or zesty Italian. Serve smooth, craveably creamy potato salads with mayo. We all know it's not a cookout without Kraft.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
We're like the wolves. We're starving. We're still hungry. We're coming out to play these clubs. We haven't made it yet. We haven't been actualized. We still want things. Mm-hmm. To me, that kind of hunger, that shit is beautiful. So I love teaming up with somebody that's still hungry like that.
Well, to your point, you worry about playing it safe, with the industry. There is no industry in rock and roll. Rock and roll is an afterthought, unfortunately. So who cares who you piss off at this?
Well, it's ran by a few people like the Illuminati, and I do want to do some cool shit. And so you can't go. It's not like the 80s movies where you can go in and fucking piss in the punch bowl and shit on the parade. Like, my point is not being disrespectful. My thing is like, if we got to go out and bring it back to like how grunge and how punk and other movements did it, then fuck it. Because the thing is, his band is killer. I've seen him live, and our songs are great. So to me, it's lethal.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the thing is it boils down to freedom. I mean, you guys can put your records out, right? And you don't have that pressure from Friday to Monday of how many units you got to move, right? And you're sweating, your palms are sweating, and you get that call on Monday from the label, oh, it didn't move as much as we wanted, and now there's even more pressure on it. You release an album, you release it because all the songs on there, you want to be on there. And you wrote all the stuff and didn't have any inside influence. So now it's your stuff. And now it's like, all right, cool. We got the album out. Now let's put together a tour. Let's put together some dates. Let's get out on the road. Let's get whoever involved. Let's go out and do this. There's no, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have like this romantic idea of how it is, but it just seems to be more of a, like, let's just do this. Let's just get this done. There's no one in my ear telling me to do a cover of a pop song, or maybe this will make you popular, or maybe this will happen. There's none of that, which has got to be great for you to be able to experience that.
you are romanticizing about it, but it's fucking awesome. And there is the whole thing about this is there's kind of just a purity about it. There was no political move for us to go on tour. It was just our manager talked, you want to do this? We got killer. Like, it was just so pure and just booking I don't know. It's just cool. It's easy.
Yeah. That's why I think movements like this and things like with what we're doing, it is a great spark, man, for like fucking rock and roll and as a whole right now. It feels like, and I hope that this will be something that can continue on where, we were talking about it earlier, but like artists teaming up, bands going out together, not being afraid to almost be your own gatekeeper and say, well, I won't do that. I'm waiting for this, whatever. It's like both of us basically were just like, yeah, let's go out and fucking play. Because like I said, someone's going to come to a Tuk show and be like, who's this guy? And, then that helps, push my shit out there, vice versa. Everyone wins, man. And I think that's the cool part about it.
So what are these shows going to be like?
I don't know. It's going to be fun because he gets me cranked up.
I'm going to get him cranked up every day.
Well, I love Midwestern people. They're their vibe. So he's so easy to hang out and talk to. It's going to be cool, man. I think it's going to be no ego, no prima donna. As long as I'm able to blow dry my hair, I'm fine. As long as he's be able to fucking hit the gym, he's going to be fine. We're pretty easy, man.
I think it's going to be really fun, dude. I honestly, I have a feeling it's going to be one of those tours where it's like we get to have fun and also play shows, Yeah. And it's like we're just going to show up places, fuck it up, have a great time. And that's like, all right, dude, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the cool part for me is I think that's going to be very low stress. And, I wanted to say to Tuk right away, and, I'm going to say it to his bandmates and everything, but like fucking like mi casa su casa, dude. Like, we're out here together. Let's fucking make the wheel turn.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really a powerful statement, when we're going to be out there, and it's a package, and it's a one big team, really.
Yeah. Yeah. We're sharing gear and we're sharing some crew. Like, it's cool, man.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
That's interesting because just talking with the Black Moods and the Deads, they did the same thing. They shared.
I'm fans of both of those bands, by the way. That's a cool tool. Sorry.
Yeah, they said the same thing, sharing gear, sharing, help and stuff like that on the road, just to kind of make it as economical and as easy as possible, which that's the smart way to do it, with rising costs and all that. You got to find ways to not cut corners, but be more efficient in how you do things. So
trying to adapt, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Are these going to be equal sets?
What do you mean?
Like hour to hour,
How are you playing?
I don't know. Great question. These are things we need to be figuring out.
We haven't talked about none. I don't even know what gear. I think the only thing we're decided is we're going to have a headless kick drum without either logo.
That's it. That's the only thing that's been planned for this tour. No, maybe,
an hour,
but also like, I think what we're going to do is like, Tuk's going to headline where he headlines, and I'll do a few. But I think what would be cool is like, even if like you're playing, if he's headlining, like he should definitely play a few more. Like, I think that'd be a good vibe.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. It's more like nonchalant, dude. I'm telling you, we both did the package tours. They're fun. They're awesome. But you get in trouble. And now we're playing like the punk clubs and the bars and these places. It's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's funny when you're like, Jared, you actually played 2 minutes over last night. So we're going to cut off 2 minutes tonight. And I'm looking at him and I go, really? Okay, cool. And then I played my same exact set.
Yep.
But with Tuk, he's going to be like, dude, you played fucking 5 minutes over. And I'll be like, oh, fuck, sorry, dude. Just play an extra song or two, whatever.
And then I know we both did the tours where you have the drum. They don't let you set up your drums. So you have to play with them in the front of the stage. And the cymbals hit your ear and you can't hear it sing.
Yeah. Or like the drummer's over there in that corner where like something else should be. Yeah. I mean, I think both of us have run the gamut on how fucked up scenarios can be and how you just have to sit there and laugh at the end.
Yeah. So the whole point of our shit, there's no ego. It's just like, whatever, we'll have a good time. I mean, we're going to be professional and put on a hell of a show, but yeah, no egos to me.
I've got a question from a friend of mine who's always at the concerts I'm at. We've kind of developed a friendship as a result of that. And I saw him last night, and I was talking with him, and I mentioned that I was having both you guys on. And Jared, I don't know if you remember. My buddy Chris is a big dude. He's like 6'6", and he had a Tuk Smith shirt on.
Of course I do. Yeah. Of course, dude. I told him we were talking. There was murmurs.
Yes,
that was in January.
Yeah,
and he showed up to. I was at an in-store, and then I was playing in Milwaukee that night. It was the night I was getting so fucking sick. But I remember, that's how I'll never forget this. He had a Tuk Smith shirt on, and I was like, dude, I think I'm going to be going on tour with him. And he like flipped.
Yeah.
Like, no.
So his question is, because, and he told me I could say this, but all right, I'm just going to go ahead. He's got a colonoscopy scheduled for when you guys play in Ohio. He wants to know if I also want to know this too. He also wants to know if there's going to be more tour dates extended into Chicago. If not, he'll reschedule his colonoscopy to go see you guys in Cleveland.
I don't know.
You like how we just both like looked away like,
well, you just asked if I'm doing any more tour dates. I thought something was about to involve shit. I'm trying to book something. His manager, they're trying to sketch something in the Midwest, but it's baby, so I don't know if it's what's going to happen. Have you heard about that at all yet? Or
not really. I would say if I honestly, being selfish, I would say he should reschedule and come see us play, because it's going to be totally worth it. I'm sure that we'll come there if it's on our books and we can figure it out. I'm sure we'll come to the Chicago area, but the reality is, if he doesn't want to miss it, man, he should just show up.
Yeah.
And I talked to him, and I knew how fucking excited he was. And he was like, oh, I'm going to be there. So you're going to have to tell him, dude, he's going to have to do the day after.
He's right. Yeah, just fucking do the coffee enema before.
Yeah, or he does the colonoscopy, then he shows up in like a wheelchair.
Yeah. I don't even know what a colonoscopy is. I think they spray your butt out, right?
Yeah, isn't that what they do?
But they put like a camera up your butt to see if you got any like tumors or anything growths in there. Like it's basically like a preventative colon cancer.
All right, bro. Well, I don't know none about that, but he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
I'm here not just to ask the questions. I'm here to inform, guys.
Tell him we'll hit a buffet too when he comes. You know what I mean, man? We'll do like a Asian seafood buffet.
No, you got to go with the chili buffet at that point.
Oh my god, dude!
But no, he was like, we're walking out, and he goes, "Hey, you got to ask this tomorrow." I go, "What do you want me to ask?" And he's like, "All right, I'm getting a colonoscopy on the day they're playing in Cleveland. Find out if they got more dates, because if they do, then I won't reschedule the colonoscopy. But if they don't, I'll reschedule it and go see him in Cleveland."
That's such a fucking Facebook question.
Yeah.
That I would get on Facebook.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
I'm like, all right, I'll ask. So I did. So he'll be happy that I had this conversation. As far as the tour goes, is booking these dates, I know Tuck, you touched on it at Rock and Pod a little bit about just the challenges. Is this something that you think is just short term with challenges in finding dates,
short term,
or do you think it's going to be long term?
It's short term. What's happening right now is because nobody got to tour for COVID for basically 3 years, everybody's going back out, and a lot of clubs have closed. There's not as many clubs. It'll die down. It's just like we're getting a rush right now, I would think. Totally. Stuff is kind of booked out farther. But the promoters have been super cool on this, and temporary.
Yeah, it just seems like, especially now, like with the first quarter of this year, there's so many great music coming out. There's been so much music coming out the last couple of years, obviously because the pandemic stunted everything, but it's a great problem to have as a music fan. But I can imagine, like you said, Tuck, everyone's out there touring, everyone's booking stuff. I mean, Metallica, when they released tour dates, their tour is not for another, like when they released it was like 2 years out.
Damn.
My son's like, we're going to go see Metallica. I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to be doing in 2024.
Yeah. Michael Monroe overseas, from released a tour for 2025, like 3 months ago. How crazy
that is insanity, man.
You used to get book a show 3 months advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Tuck was saying, like, with your question about it, that's the only thing I've heard is the fact, like I'll talk to some bookers and they're like, dude, everybody's trying to play. there's clubs with 4 holds deep on one night.
There were 5-7 holds on some of these venues.
And what does that mean? 5-7 holds.
Basically, they're literally 5 bands are trying to hold that night.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, 5-7 holds.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's
which is insanity when you think about it. And then, a lot of the festivals as well, there's still holds from 2021 or, some of these bands haven't played, maybe they got to play last year, but they're still slated from COVID times to play on these festivals.
Yep.
Do you think it'll spawn growth into more clubs opening up?
No, I don't think so.
I don't either.
Or maybe more venues having live music?
I heard tickets. Look, I don't know much about the analytics, but I do hear people saying ticket sales are actually down. And I know in Europe, a lot of people are canceling tours. But dude, I don't fucking know what's going to happen with the housing market. What's going to happen with the economy? I don't know. Anything could happen.
I was just over in Europe and talking to like people over there that were coming to the shows and certain markets, man, it was pretty bleak in a way of like, there was certain markets where like we didn't sell any merch. People were having a hard time just getting tickets to get into the door.
Wow.
Yeah. And it wasn't anything weird on our end. It was like, okay, this country is different than, where we just were or whatever. But I think that it's just a weird thing because I go to venues now and I see more corporate venues than anything.
I do too.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I think a lot of I don't want to use a mom and pop, but I think a lot of those more homegrown venues, they're hanging on by a thread. Or it's going to be like a lot of corporate venues and that's more of where it's going to live.
I just think about, the clubs here in Chicago and then all the way up into Wisconsin, like fortunately for us here, we never run out of places to go see people play.
It's the bread basket for rock clubs though.
Mm-hmm.
They're everywhere.
That's that Midwest, man. I mean, I think that, I really do think Midwest, even into the South, in the Mid-South, there will still be clubs that won't go away. But I think, it's just different now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a lot of theaters. You got a lot of clubs here. I mean, I go back and forth from Wisconsin to Chicago. Sometimes I go down to Indy to see there's a couple cool venues down in Indianapolis. It just seems like there's always places here, and like when you guys talk about stuff closing, I'm not that I don't believe it, but it's just, we're fortunate because we never hear of a club closing in Chicago.
Well, so like, let's just take Philadelphia, for example, under 500 cap clubs, there's probably like 4, right? So you have all these bands touring. That's only 4 bands, that goes quick, 4 clubs in a city in a big A market like that. Like Nashville has tons of clubs. Atlanta, really, I played 3 clubs in Atlanta and I'm from there. And so when you have everybody touring, those things get picked up quick. So I think it's just a rush right now. People are rushing out to tour, and that's why it's booking.
So the tour starts here end of April, and you've got treks across mostly eastern and southern states, and hopefully more if it does happen. But what after this tour, or beyond this tour, what are plans for both you guys musically and playing live, either with each other or outside of playing with each other?
I have after this tour, I'm gonna go do some stuff on the West Coast. Kind of a sad continuation without Tuck, but I'm gonna be over there for like 2 weeks, just doing up and down the coast, and then after that, I go to Europe with the Winery Dogs for about 3 weeks. So that'd be really fun.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be a cool one. And after that, kind of it's unknown. I think hopefully we'll hook on some more dates and we can continue on that. We'll see what the late summer brings. I know Tuck's got Welcome to Rockville coming up. Some other festival slots.
Yeah. Couple festivals. Trying to get back to Europe. Trying to plan for that. Hoping I snag one of these opening slots, but if I don't, we're going to do this. I'm going to do the same thing. Find like-minded people to go out.
The Winery Dogs. It's going to be you and Richie playing without a pick.
That's right, dude.
Have you seen the calluses on his fingers? Show 'em.
Dude, are they there? You can kind of see them. Oh, look, I feel so weird. Arr. Yeah, I remember, and this fucking story is real. I remember playing at the Viper Room. It was right when I moved to LA. It would have probably been like 2012. And I remember Richie Kotzen was at the show. And I remember he came up to me and he was like, man, you don't play with a pick. That's awesome. I started to do that too. And I'm a huge fan. I was like, really? That's fucking killer. He's wearing a tie-dye shirt. He was totally inconspicuous. And then now he's like a finger-picking shred wizard. But I can't wait to go on this tour and just tear it up, man. It'll be great.
Yeah, I saw them about a month ago, and I was just floored. I mean, like every time I see him, it's just like, man, I don't know what the hell's going on with those three, but it sounds like there's 20 people up there. It's insane.
It's going to be a lot of notes. One good thing for me opening the show, dude, I'll hit like 4 licks and just like hold on to a note for about a half hour, and I'll let them have all the notes. I'll just do like my little thing.
I always ask this question I shouldn't say always. I ask this question once in a while. You guys are part of this emerging scene, part of this movement. What's a band that each of you are listening to that some of my listeners should check out?
I'm going to go first. When I do my jogs, I've been listening to his record nonstop.
That's a cheap one.
And it sounds fucking killer. It does. I can't find anything. I listen to bands I produce, and then I like the Nashville scene. I've listened to Tyler's record. I've listened to his record because these are the bands and like the peers putting out stuff.
Cold Stairs, of course.
Great stuff.
Your fan base will know about that. Trying to think. There's a friend of mine out in Reno area, Hellbound Glory. It's more like old school country, but like rockin'. It's like punk country. But it's good stuff. I would say that Hellbound Glory. I like. I'm trying to think other bands.
I just listen to so much old music. It's hard. It's like, I like the new White Reaper record. I'm a song guy, so it's not just necessarily the genre. It's got a good song and a good vibe. I'm really kind of into it.
Mm-hmm. You guys going to get up on stage and jam with each other? Or?
Yeah, everybody's asked, so I guess. So
we'll do it.
Fuck it,
for sure.
Do it.
We'll just leave another amp up there. I think what would be cool is will keep us on our toes. So like when he headlines, like maybe I can zip up with his band. And then if I'm doing the last slot, he'll come up and play with my band. I think that'd be cool.
I can't wait. I got to figure out a show to get to. I hope it comes here to the Midwest. I hope you guys book some more dates, but maybe I'll break my friend Chris out of the hospital in his gown and I'll take him up to Cleveland after.
Tell him we'll sign his colostomy bag.
Hey, did you guys ever hear about that story at Kid Rock's big ass honky tonk during the pandemic?
No.
There was like a guy in there in his wheelchair, and you hear about this? Yeah. And the band's playing Freebird. It was like noon, and he's got his like shit bag, right? And he starts going crazy and he starts spinning it.
A real slinging shit, no lie.
All over the walls, all over the patrons. They had to close down for the rest of the day to clean it up. All I'm trying to say is that could be Chris in Ohio. We could make national.
But he doesn't have a colostomy bag. He's getting the tube up the butt.
I don't tell him bring the bag.
Tell him we need the bag or he's not getting in.
Yeah, like dude. I'm trying to make fucking CNN over here.
We're trying to figure this out, okay?
Yeah, instead of a fucking lab leak, it's going to be a fucking club leak.
That's an idea for merch. Have each of you guys come up with a colostomy bag cover at your merch table.
All right. So you take everything way too far.
I don't know about that,
bro. Well, hey guys, it's been a blast. A lot of laughs. Good conversation. Glad to see you guys out on the road. It's good to see that two artists like yourselves are out there going to be banging it and playing and melting some faces. So good on you guys. And I'm going to look at dates and try to make it out to a show somehow, some way.
Thanks a lot, dude. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Everyone, that is Tuk Smith. That is Jared James Nichols. Catch them on tour. Tour dates are on their social media sites, on their websites. Go check them out. Go see them live. Don't be one of these fuddy-duddies that just says, I don't listen to anything that's new. Go listen and get changed, and it'll change your life. It'll be a great rock and roll moment. And bring your kids, too, for God's sakes. I brought my kid to his first concert when he was 5, and it was over after that. He plays guitar. Jared met him at the show, and he's been a guitar player ever since. So it does change lives. Rock and roll always does that. I'm Jay Scott. This is The Hook Rocks. Take care of each other. Stay safe, and we will talk soon. Thanks.
Got no direction home, like I'm stranded on my own. Yeah, this feeling of the unknown keeps me hanging on. You get cold like stone and alone, like you know you can't shine like gold, running like a renegade. This ain't for the faint. This ain't for the faint of heart. For the blood, tears that make or break, but it ain't for the faint of heart. No, it ain't. It's been a restless road. Yeah, I guess you reap what you sow. Yeah, this reeling in the unknown keeps me hanging on.
Summer is calling, and your favorite artists are at Wolf Trap. Tickets on sale at wolftrap.org.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.